Hi guys, my name is Kaushal Shah. I'm CEO and founder of eVitalRx, and today we are going to talk about how eVitalRx can be helpful for the enterprise level customers, that is, a larger pharmacy chains, and health tech companies. So, without further ado, I would like to share a screen with some few slides. First, give you some sort of introduction, and then we'll switch over to the portal for actual product demo. We won't go in too much in details for the actual features because otherwise it would be really taking more than 2 hours. However, on YouTube, you can find other videos that where my colleague Hamid goes into more details of each and individual feature. But we'll go around, take a look at the overview of features, how they interact with each other, and basically how it can help you run a larger pharmacy or a multiple pharmacy chain in India. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll go through some presentation and then we'll switch over to the portal. Like I said, it's a product demo. Most likely you already are very well aware of what eVitalRx is, but I don't think it hurts to review that very quickly. So eVitalRx is the first and fastest growing cloud ERP that is built specifically by keeping in mind retail pharmacies of India. And we've been doing this for about 4 years now, and we're still only focusing on retail pharmacies. And we have really more than 5,000 clients using this software every single day across the country. And what eVitalRx is different or unique in its nature is that it's a completely cloud-based software. It was the first cloud-based software introduced in India for the pharmacies. We also use centralized catalog. That is, we have only one catalog for each and every pharmacy on our portal. And it actually, it may seem very silly or a small thing, but when you think about it, it really unlocks a lot of efficiency of operations, checking alternatives, checking pictures of the product, putting it, as an omni-channel solution. And that is why we have put so much efforts and technology behind building the largest centralized catalog. We are adding about 400 new products every single day, even as of we're speaking right now. And we provide a high quality customer service. Of course, there is a phone service. You can call us, our customer team anytime during the work hours and as well. But more importantly than there is lots of learn more content right available within the portal. In each and every screen, there is an extensive YouTube library that we have built over the time, and now we're building actually in multiple languages. That is, besides English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. Those are the 5 languages that we are targeting right now for each and every content. We also do weekly calls with our pharmacy. So there's something called Chai Pe Charcha, which is every Saturday 4 p.m., where we take any sort of feedback, feature request, any bugs that you may have found, etc. We may also provide a product updates in during those calls, and we also do monthly or bi-monthly an in-person event across the cities in India, which is called Vital Connect. So we did recently in Hyderabad. Before that, we did in Pondicherry and Bangalore as well. Next one we are planning for Pune. So we like to engage with our customers so that we continuously keep getting feedback on the product, and we keep building a product that is built for you as a retail pharmacist in India. So, like I said, you might already be aware of this thing, but I think it doesn't hurt to go through that really quickly. Who do we serve? And this might be obvious, but I think the reason I want to carry a bigger point here, who do we serve? If you are running any sort of retail pharmacy in India, eVitalRx is for you. Whether you are running, one person, one man show, or you could be running 100 people into same store, retail pharmacy, large pharmacy, eVitalRx can help you. Of course, you can we have customers in each and every state in India as well. Whether you're a generic pharmacy, whether you're running a clinic pharmacy, whether you're running a floating counter or a chronic focused pharmacy, we can help it all. But the second and third bullet points on the screen is actually very important for this conversation. Is we also help a lot of multiple locations, multiple chain locations or chain pharmacies, what you might call. We also help them. So we have clients that could be that are managing more than 50 locations on eVitalRx, and you can connect each and every location within the eVitalRx portal and run that warehouse and admin operations, which is the topic of this video. And of course, we also help a lot of health tech companies, the companies that might be using our API products, the companies that might be using our webhooks, and of course the eVitalRx core product as well. So if you're running multiple locations or health tech companies, this video is for you. If you're running a retail pharmacy, this could actually also help you. If you're running a larger operations, say more than 20 staff members, If you're running anything less than that, there is another demo video that I would request you to check it out on the YouTube. It's our core product demo. Is going to focus on more like running multiple locations or health tech companies. So why eVitalRx is the perfect solution for enterprise level pharmacy, right? So one, as I mentioned earlier, it's a centralized catalog. So a lot of inefficiencies in communicating between the main warehouse, if you're doing a centralized purchase or an HO, versus the branch retail store. It could be because you don't have a catalog. You might have a catalog mismatch, right? So if a product medicine ID is a different than HO than branch, there's a lot of issues that can arise. Of course, that's not an issue with eVitalRx, because not only your HO and branch is relying on centralized catalog, but each and every single pharmacy on the platform is using the same catalog. So there is no, possibility for mismatch in terms of medicine ID. So that's one thing. The second is it's a completely cloud-based. There is no server backup, there is no LAN connection, there is no server turning on or server investment in the first place. So you can seamlessly share information across the branches to HO to branch, back and forth. This is another issue that we came across. So for example, the first issue, the catalog thing, a lot of people solve by getting a system which is designed for enterprise client, which is designed for the chain, where the branch does not have any rights to change the medicine ID. However, the second problem still exists because it's a desktop solution, because it's a server-based solution, basically patching things together in a way. There's a lot of miscommunication or not even availability of the information available. So if you're running two branches, you cannot check whether the product is available at another branch or not, or vice versa. You cannot check from branch to HO. You cannot communicate the PO or the purchase or the stock transfer invoice details very seamlessly. Of course, none of those problems exist in eVitalRx. It's a completely cloud-based. The moment you enter a PO at the branch, it's immediately available at HO. Not only that, branch also gets to see what kind of availability you might get out of that PO available right at the HO at the time of the PO generation. So very, very seamless way of sharing information across the whole network of your pharmacies. And then lastly, it provides you a very, very advanced level of BI, again, thanks to cloud and centralized catalog. You as a admin of or the owner or the manager of the chain, or the manager of the health tech company, you can actually look at very advanced level BI. We also integrate with Zoho. We also provide our own tools for BI and some analytics that are driven by AI, aka Sahaai product that we recently launched a few months ago. So based on that, you can take a look at each and every aspect of running your pharmacy. How many bills were made at what location, what business did you do, what staff wise, and everything, the non-moving products across the stores, returns or expiries across the stores, what kind of profitability each and every store is running, and what kind of inventory turnovers each and every store is having. All those things, all those information is aggregated at the HO level, that is available to you seamlessly. No syncing, no server backups, no lane connections, nothing. So this is why I think that really eVitalRx here really leverages a cloud solution for enterprise level pharmacy or pharmacy chains. Some of the important features, I'm not going to go through each and every bullet points here, but I'm going to give you a bigger overview. One is centralized purchase management. If you are planning or already having a centralized purchase management, eVitalRx is for you. The second one is the omni-channel solution. If you plan to provide an application to your patients or WhatsApp or any ordering mechanism, CRM, or any kind of on the call service or anything like that, we have lots of omni-channel features, omni-channel solutions that are available for your enterprise. So that way you can actually leverage your network, right? So a lot of people who have one or two pharmacies, they would like to do this omni-channel. I truly believe that unless you have a good network in your city, in your neighborhood of the pharmacy, the omni-channel is sort of, yes, it can work if you really put a lot of effort into it. But if you're running more than 5 locations in the pharmacy, it's really going to give you a lot of advantages of running an omni-channel solutions through eVitalRx. So patient applications, CRM, reminders, online payments, IVR reminders, lots of those kind of features are available. And the lastly, of course, the BI, as I mentioned, you get a full picture of looking at each and every pharmacy operations without leaving your chair. or without calling anybody. And the lastly is also centralized controls. So you can, from the HO, you can manage a lot of things like discounts, or whether the product should be sold in loose or not, whether you want to generate returns for that, or you can actually check all the GST reports consolidated. All those kinds of things are available in your favorite eVitalRx, portal for the retail farm, for the multiple locations. Before we move on to portal, I just want to spend literally 30 seconds on this little chart that I created. The reason is it's very important to clear out the nomenclature which we will be using throughout the portal. The one on the top is HO or warehouse. We use that interchangeably. HO, of course, stands for head office. So if you are running a warehouse, or if you own the pharmacies or manage those pharmacies, basically the portal access that you will be having will be called HO or warehouse, which is kind of synonyms. And then the pharmacies that you represent at the retail location where the customers actually go and buy medicines will be branch 1, branch 2, branch 3. And of course, you can have multiple branches. We have a customer with 51 branches. There's no limit, of course, of how far you can go. There's no scalability issues whatsoever. So branch 1, branch 2, branch 3 is basically a retail outlet where patients are actually going. So most likely, if you have HO and warehouse, patients are most likely you're not doing any B2C direct. Mostly you're doing B2B sales or a stock transfer, depending upon your GST and PAN connection. We also allow you to connect with the branches that are completely on a different PAN or a GST for that matter. We are agnostic about it. However, there are security features and there are some legal limitations. For example, if you have a different GST, you might have to create a B2B invoice rather than a stock transfer, and so on and so forth. Again, these are not our limitation. These are actually accounting and legal compliance limitation. But this is the nomenclature we are going to stick with. So I urge you to get familiar with it. So with this overview, in mind, let's move to the portal. We'll go through each and every feature. Like I said, we won't go in each and every detail how to do things, but more about overview of what can you do things with eVital, and how can you actually use a cloud-based software that is eVitalRx for running your enterprise, multiple locations, or a health tech company that you dreamed of always. Thank you, and let's move to the portal. So as we discussed, we are going to talk about some features. First, we are going to tackle the centralized purchase management, how the requirements from the branches are conveyed to the store, the HO and warehouse, and then ultimately how HO and warehouse can actually convey that to the distributor or the vendor, what we might call, and then ultimately process it back to the warehouse, right? To the branches. So the whole process we are going to take a look. Before we dive into it, I want to spend 2 minutes on to some charts and diagrams to explain what the basics looks like, and then we'll actually move to the portal to see how actually it's being done. So let me share my screen here. So first, we are going to talk about how things are happening at the branch level. So we have a little bit of diagram here where we talk about in a branch, a short book, order book, whatever you want to call, is basically created based on 2 different things. One is min-maxed. Min-max, you might call ISQROL based demand. So if you have each and every min-max set for each and every product based on the quantity and the sales happening every day, your system will basically create a short book around that. And then, of course, every now and then you will have a customer specific demand. That is a product that you may not have in the stock, you may not be dealing with it, whatever the reason might be, or you want to just simply override the quantity that you may have in the min-max setting, right? Because some specific demand from the customer. So regardless of any reason, you can, of course, go and add anything to the short book manually. So combining these two, right? So based on min-max demand as well as the customer specific demand, you will basically prepare a short book. Once you have prepared a short book, with few clicks, you can actually generate a PO directly to the warehouse, right? So this PO will be conveyed automatically real time without you doing anything to the PO. Now, there is one more caveat that I would like to mention, rather than a caveat, actually it's a feature. We also have customers who do not want to, do this on a daily basis manually, because there might be some synchronization issue between the branch and a warehouse. For example, let's say warehouse wants to have all their PO collected from the branch at 9 a.m. in the morning. And the people at the branch might be busy in the morning. Maybe they opened it late, whatever could be the reason. We also provide a system which is a part of Sahaai offering, that a system will automatically at a predefined time. So if you define at 7 a.m., system will automatically create a PO for that particular branch based on the min max. Of course, in that case, it will be min max, and anything else before they have added before 7 a.m., it will create a PO and convey it to the branch, the warehouse automatically at a predefined time. If you would like to do it automatically at a very particular time, you are more than welcome to use Sahaai for that. If you don't want to do it for whatever reason, of course, you can always go ahead and create this manually, right? So let me just spend a minute rather than going right into the the warehouse operations. Let me just spend a minute here and explain or show you what it looks like at the branch level. So I'm going to share my screen in the portal. So this is what the this is an account for the branch. So this is a branch account where I am logged in, and I have this short book that I already created. These are the two products. So all the products that you see at the bottom might be actually a result of some past customer specific demand, or it could also be a min-max based calculations that is happening. But just for the sake of the argument, I have also added two more products recently. That is, let's say a customer walked into the store and they asked me to order these two particular products. And as you can see, my min-max is not set, my stock is not there. So I want to actually procure these two products. And as you also can see, I have defined my distributor as a warehouse because basically that is where I'm buying from. And both of them, it says pending. I can simply go ahead and click on both two and click on generate PO. Things will pop up on the right side. If there is a priority that you would like to manage low and high, of course you can do it. If not, you're more than welcome to just completely disregard that. You can generate and download a CSV. Of course, we don't recommend if you are going to buy it from the warehouse anyway, but it's there just for the sake of it if you would like to do things some other way. But if you click on generate, and we'll ask you, are you sure? Once you say yes, if you go back, so now I'm going to log in as a warehouse, and I'm going to show you that that PO is generated right here at 78 number PO. There was literally a minute ago or a second ago. One cool thing is it will also show you right away the availability. So the products that are being actually asked by the warehouse, it will show me right away that all the products that are asked in that PO in the quantity that is asked, all of them is available. But here is something I should have showed you before is if I go back to the branch, and if I go back to the PO that I have raised, it will also show me the same PO. But the cool thing is it will also show me the availability of that PO at the warehouse. So this is what I meant earlier by the seamless communication of information. The moment you are creating a PO, it is actually telling you that if the products are available, all of them at the warehouse at that moment. So you kind of have an idea. If you want to commit to the customer, you can actually commit right away that yes, it will be available by 2 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever your schedule for the delivery from the warehouse is. But the information is basically flowing between the warehouse and the branch in a very seamless manner. So this is one cool thing. Let's go back to the chart. I want to talk about a couple more things, or I also want to discuss things that is happening at the warehouse level, and then we'll come back to this protocol. So what I was mentioning, min-max based demand plus the customer based demand, that will fill up the short book. Short book will eventually fill up the PO, either manually or automatically. That's up to you. But this is all branch level operations that is happening. Now, what happens when the POs hit basically a warehouse? So let's take a look at this little chart here. There's a PO1, that is a PO from the branch 1, PO2, PO from the branch 2, PO3, PO from the branch 2. So basically all the POs from different branches are being segregated at a warehouse at some time. And this is where really, the automation comes in handy, because imagine, one of your guys sends a PO at 8 a.m. and then second guy sends it at 8:30 a.m. and then third guy sends at 9 a.m. And you will have a hard time creating your own short book and creating your own POs, right? To get it from the vendor ultimately. So this is where the automation really comes in handy. But I leave that up to you and how do you want to use that, in your business. So all the three POs are combined, and then whatever your current stock is. So assuming some people like to use stock in their warehouse, some people like to have zero inventory business. In my experience so far, is even the people who says they won't like to have zero inventory at the warehouse, they don't really have zero inventory. They always have something, at least remaining inventory, some remnant inventory, something they bought it in excess because they were getting a good deal or something. So we will deduct that current stock because you already have that. And the rest of the products will be added to the short book. This is again, remind you, this is a short book of the warehouse, right? So this is where you will start having a PO. So what I should really have it here, very frankly, is one more little block here, which is a PO to a vendor, right? A vendor or a distributor, whatever you call it here. And it will look a little different. So I'm going to just change this again. This is, I like to use this too. So I'm going to have some fun with this. But basically, after deducting current stock, we will create a short book. This short book will basically be converted into a PO to the vendor. So I'll also show you what it looks like on a portal. So imagine you received all the POs from your branches, and you sum them up all. When I say you, I mean really the system is really doing this job. You're not supposed to do any of these things. And then we will deduct this short book product, sorry, the product that are already in our stock or already processed for whatever reason. And the rest will be added to the short book and ultimately to the PO. So if I go back to the warehouse, so you will see these are all the POs that I have received from the branch, right? So it says there are a few tabs here. One says order wise, which is a PO wise basically. If you want to look at store wise, you can also go to store wise. There are different stores. If I click on this guy, I will see all the products from that particular store. But what I want to show you is item wise, right? So here item wise, if I go to item wise, all the products that I have received a PO for today, right? So if I do today and I have to do click go, and then I can go here and I can go publish, okay, bulk update the short book. So these are all the products that basically I have in the PO required. So if you can see all the numbers in PO quantity is positive, right? These are all the products that are required by my stores. If I already have some current stocks, you can see it here. If I don't have it, I would like to buy more of it. So this will all be product will be here. And once I click on update, all of these products will actually be either added or modified into the short book. So I think I can go ahead and do this. Following quantities will be overridden in the short book. Yes, I'm sure about this. So now if the products are already existing, it will be adjusted in terms of quantity. So boom, just like this, you have basically updated your own short book. When I say your own, I meant you are an HO or a warehouse. So all the products that are recently added here, some distributors will be shown here. This is of course Sahaai logo. Let's not get that for now, but basically all the distributor will be assigned as well. Just like, short book you might be using in the retail. It's the same functionality. And it will all be basically, given here into the system. And then from there on, you can actually create a PO for the vendors going forward. So let's take a look at how else would you actually process this PO. So this was all about receiving the POs, deducting your current stock, generating your own short book, sending it to vendor, so on and so forth. In the second section, we're also going to look at how would you process the PO that you have received from the branch or for the products that you already have received in your warehouse. Okay, so basically now that we have reviewed everything that a branch will send you as a PO, all the POs will be aggregated. Your current stock in the warehouse will be deducted from it, and the rest of the products will be aggregated and send it to a short book. And from the short book, either you can basically create your own way of creating POs, or you can of course use all the Sahaai driven recommendations as well. It's up to you. Here, what I have done, so this is again back to we are in the warehouse login right now. I have collected all the POs. I have deducted my current stock. I have prepared my short book on my own short book, as in my warehouse short book. From there on, I have basically filtered two things. I have filtered out Dhruvi Pharma, which is one of the distributor, and I also filtered out the status of the product which are all pending. So these are the products that I still need to procure because it is required by some of my stores, and I want to procure this from Dhruvi Pharma. Of course, you can change anything you want to change, but let's assume for a minute that these are the products I want to procure. So I will go ahead and select all the products here, and I will go ahead and click a generate PO. So this is what basically it's telling me, Dhruvi Pharma PO. All the product POs are being sent here. I can also, of course, download CSV one more time, or I can just say click on generate PO. And the moment I generated a PO in my own PO, again, one more time, this is a warehouse PO. These are the POs that I'm sending it to the vendors. Right now, of course, I don't have any availability information here because I don't know the stock current at the Dhruvi Pharma. The idea in the future is to integrate with third-party companies like Pharma, Retail, Xanax, Value Medi, or directly into the distributor, so that you actually get a availability information here, right, when you create these POs to the vendors. But let's assume for a second that this POs is basically sent out. Of course, if you would like, I actually highly recommend, you can actually send an email to the Dhruvi Pharma from here for the official record, or you can also send a WhatsApp. The reason I actually prefer and almost like suggest highly is because so that we actually get a timestamp of what time did you actually send your PO to the vendor. So when we actually have to evaluate all these vendors, we can actually have a timestamp that this is the PO that you sent at 1:10 p.m. on 25th March. And when you receive the products back, we can calculate the turnaround time, we can calculate the bounce, we can calculate the dump analysis. All those kind of things could be actually possible if you actually send a copy of the PO through the system. So I'm just going to go ahead and send an email here. If you have integrated your email, Gmail, it will basically go from here. If not, then of course you can also send a WhatsApp that will look like something like this. By the way, just a detour here for a second. You can also take a look at what it looks like to the distributor. It's pretty cool actually, because they can actually see this PO on their mobile as well. So imagine a guy at the distributor trying to fill up your order. He can see the whole PO on their phone if you send them to the WhatsApp link. But rather than going into all these details, by the way, one more thing, actually, I should say, it is also mentioned last discount and the last margin that was provided from that distributor to you. So it kind of gives them a reference that this is what I actually priced them last time. So, kind of less room for discussions and negotiations or errors, if you will. So, assuming everything went well, you send out a PO. So as you can see, it says progress, because progress basically means that you actually, provided PO back to the vendor. Now, 3 hours later, 4 hours later, depending upon where you are and what your terms are, let's say you received a package, a parcel from the distributor of all your PO that you mentioned. So we have one more facility of gate pass. So this may or may not be helpful for everybody. But if you really want to do things very, very in a systematic manner, I recommend that you use these as well. So imagine a guy at your store or a HO or a warehouse picks up the parcel and creates a sort of gate pass, because this is where a Dhruvi Pharma basically says, I did my job. So, you cannot really calculate their performance after that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at 898 is the PO number. So I'm going to attach this PO to this particular gate pass. I'm going to create a bill number. I'm just going to put XYZ. Bill number might be 10,000 rupees. And remark is, received by, ABC person. Doesn't matter. You don't have to write out, of course. If there are more than one packages, you can write out as well. Item count, let's say 20. Just doesn't matter. I'm going to submit this gate pass. So now I have official gate pass created for Dhruvi Pharma. Let's say 20 minutes later, somebody from the procurement department picks up the parcel, starts creating an inward for that, start creating a purchase for that basically. And you can also type XYZ bill number, because that is the exact same bill number that was attached for the gate pass. So I can fetch that. It does not, it says, there is no gate pass. There it is. So link this gate pass to them. And then, so you created the same bill number here, XYZ. I link the gate pass that we created. Now I'm going to upload CSV that I have received from Dhruvi Pharma. Again, one more time, if you already have a Gmail integration done, this should be done automatically as well. But let's just assume for a second, I don't have that, facility. I'm uploading my CSV as a purchase GDN. All the products are here. And here I can actually also get a comparison. So remember the PO, I actually sent it out to the distributor. Now I can compare that PO versus this purchase. If I click on it, I get all the things that are here. Now, of course, this is just an example. So if you ordered something only 2, but they send it to you 5, it will be shown as order over quantity. If you ask for 20, only received 1, it will be shown partial. If something you asked for it have not been received, 0. And something you never even asked for, but they received. Again, this is just a demo, so don't panic. But this to show you that whatever PO that you communicated, how their purchase look like in front of them. So if something is over quantity, under quantity, so on and so forth, you'll be able to see it. Once you save and continue, it doesn't matter. You can actually go ahead and save your purchase just like you would do it here anyway. Yes, without complying. So now you actually have some sort of comparison against each other as well. If you go back to the short book, of course, the short book will be somewhat modified because all the products are already, some of the products at least you have received. Now, the thing I would like to talk about is that let's go back to so this is, sorry, my bad. This is, I'm going to go back to my warehouse. I'm going to go back to the POs that I've received. And I'm going to go back to, for example, this latest PO that I want to, let's take a look at 1 second. I'm gonna find out some PO that I would like to process. So this is one of the pharmacy, and I can, pick one, doesn't matter which one. I can pick this particular PO, and I can start, let me pick something that has a couple of products, maybe this one. Yeah. So let's say I have some stock in these products, and they have ordered some products here as well. So let me pause here. Let me summarize what we have seen so far. So we have seen all the products or the POs that were received from the branch, collected, adjusted against my current stock. Then I updated my short book. When I say I meant the warehouse. Communicated that PO to the vendor, received back, created gate pass, entered the purchase. Now I have to, whatever I have received in my stock, I need to process that POs to my branches. So I picked one of the branch, which is called Demo Pharmacy Rushabh. He has this one PO that he raised a few days ago, and I'm going to start processing the PO that I have enough products. So I have first 2 products, as you can see, I have enough in a stock. I can select these 2 products, and I can simply create. Or by the way, one more thing I would like to say. Let's say there is a big PO, and you can simply here go, and there are 3 options in stock. That is whatever has been asked for, I actually have it in stock, or whatever I have been asked for, I have it, but I don't have it enough. This was a short stock and completely out of stock. That means I have 0 products. So there are only 2 divisions here. One is not applicable. 2 products I have that are completely in stock. I'm going to go ahead and click them. So as you can see, it's filtered already. And then I'm going to just say generate stock transfer. If you would like to pre-fill with the batch, you can do the pre-fill with the batch, assuming that the first in, first out, or you can actually scan and select batch manually. One thing we want to work on very soon is we want to work on, so for some of you might be aware of the fact that we actually have something called TrackRx, which is basically a fulfillment system for the this kind of ordering process. We have that for B2C purpose, so regular sales. Now we are working on to create that for B2B as well. So with that, you should not even need this to do it. You can simply start scanning products and it will create a transport for you. But let's not get there for now. For now, I'm just going to say, let's do pre-fill batch. Sorry, my bad. I have not selected these 2 items. And then I can say generate stock transfer, pre-fill batch. Yes, I'm sure. As you can see, demo pharmacy, blah, blah, blah. All the products are here. The moment I click save, this is a stock transfer, i.e. this is the same PAN number that I have as my own warehouse. So I should not need to create an invoice or anything like that. And I can just go ahead and create this stock transfer. Now, if I go back to Rushabh, I should be able to see that into my stock transfers like this. Hold on 1 second. I'm a little lost here. Apologies for a second. So basically, I am logged in now as a branch login, which is Rushabh. In that, I go to B2B, and I will be able to see the stock transfer. So if I go click here, as you can see, there it is, 25th March, 1:20 p.m. demo warehouse. So automatically, without doing anything, I have already received that. The moment I go in here, I will, by the way, there will also be notification on their mobile application so that they will know that there is some stock transfer that has been issued to them. It says pending, i.e. the stock is not reflected into that stock yet. But once I accept it, or I have some other option, which is download and all that stuff, I can just simply accept it. All the products I have accepted it, it's automatically transferred, i.e. it is going to be reflected into my stock. So this basically completes the whole cycle that we talked about of centralized purchase. This is, of course, I only process 1 POs. You'll be doing multiple POs for each branch, but multiple POs for even same branch for that matter. Again, one more time to summarize the whole system. At the branch level, you will be using a min-max, right? Or and/or customer demand demanded products to create your short book. The branch will basically prepare the short book, create a PO. This could be done two ways. It could be done manually. It could also be done automatically if you wish. These POs all will be aggregated at the warehouse level from different branches. Once all the POs have been aggregated, you will deduct the current stock. The system will deduct the current stock. All the remaining items will be added to their short book, i.e. a short book of the warehouse. Depending on the distributor selection, it will be conveyed to the distributor. Again, one more time, I will highly recommend that you send a WhatsApp or email. Even if you call them and place order manually, I would still suggest that you place a WhatsApp button so that we actually know that this is the PO you communicated with them. When you receive that back, you can create a gate pass or you can create a purchase. You can compare the PO as well. Once the PO has been compared, you can save it. There will be some analysis like dump analysis, turnaround time analysis, all that based on that. Once you save it, you have all the products available. Now you can go back to the POs that you have received from the branch. You can start creating stock transfer or B2B invoice, depending upon the relationship you have with the branch, legal relationship that is. And then once you select it, once you issue a stock transfer, the branch will simply have to accept or reject, i.e. in case you did it by mistake or something. Other than that, they can simply accept it and they don't have to do any purchase entry or whatsoever. Automatically, everything will be transferred to their stock at the moment. One thing I have not mentioned in this case, which we have covered somewhere else, is we have recently also provided our delivery application through Vitran. So one thing you can, while you're creating a stock transfer to the branch or a B2B invoice for the branch, you can also, because most likely it will be a delivery. You can also assign a delivery of that particular invoice or a stock transfer to the delivery person. And then the branch will be able to sort of track the delivery guy, where they are and what they are and so on and so forth. They can accept it. And, everything could also be worked through a delivery application as well. Again, I have not showed you here, but it will be covered somewhere else as well anyway. So this was all about a centralized purchase. I'm sure there are so many details that are in there. This demo is not meant to be covering all those details, but at least give you a bigger picture overview with the diagrams. For all the details, either you can call us for a demo or you can watch some of the videos that are on YouTube separately for each function in much more detail. In the next section, we are going to talk about omni-channel solutions. That is, let's say you create a brand online website or something like that. How do you tap into your network to leverage that network maximum possible way through eVitalRx? As we discussed, we are going to look at what can eVitalRx help you with in terms of becoming an omni-channel solution. So as you might probably already know that eVital provides a patient application, whereas a patient can actually connect with your pharmacy seamlessly through the app. Right now, it could also be eVital app, which is part of the capsule package, or it could also be a white label application, which is very unique to your brand, your separate application that is also connected seamlessly to the ERP system of eVitalRx. That way, a patient can place orders online, they can check the availability, they can check the history of their prescription at your store. You can send patient bill reminder or refill reminder through the push notification, which are of course completely free of charge. You can do, patient can now actually track vitals as well. This is one of the latest feature that we pushed last week. Now patient can actually store their vitals like blood pressure, blood glucose, weight, or oxygen pulse. Eventually in future, our vision is that patient can actually also share that vitals with you as a chemist. So chemist should be able to take a look at the patient vitals on the portal of eVitalRx. So, there are lots of features that are already been providing you through a eVital application. But in this case, we are going to take a look at, if you are running a chain of pharmacies, right? So an order comes to you as a warehouse, as a brand, and what happens after that? So there are two basically possible ways to go about it. Is that one is the order assignment happens automatically, aka we also provide an algorithm where product availability, the distance from the patient is considered, and order will be directly routed to that particular location for the fulfillment. So imagine you are running a brand, you have 20 locations throughout one of your cities, and then a patient is sending you an order, right? You as a brand, patient does not really care which particular branch actually fulfills the order. So we have customers who wants to fulfill the order from the warehouse itself. We have customers who wants to fulfill the order from the branch. And in my opinion, if you're running 20 locations, you really want to leverage the that inventory and the network that you have rather than processing each and every order from the warehouse. So if you're doing billing properly, you can also use our algorithm to assign those orders. Assuming that you don't want to do it, you want to do something manually, you also provide a tool for that. So let's take a look at what the tool look like. I'm going to go back to the portal here. So if I go to e-orders, this is where you will see all the orders that you received through eVital or your application. Now, if you're running more than 5 locations, you probably want your brand to be on the application. So you have your own application, which eVital will of course build it for you. Or you can also get it built by third parties using our APIs. But let's just assume for a minute that I open this particular order that was assigned to me, assigned to this one particular store, a demo pharmacy Vaibhav store. And for whatever reason, I would like to change that. So if I go to assign manually and if I load more, it says here that Vaibhav has been assigned this particular order. Now, in this case, the same product also exists at demo pharmacy Rushabh, but it's only less than a kilometer away from the patient's address, as opposed to 9 kilometers away, which is what the original assignment is. I can simply click on assign here, and I can actually change the assignment to the Rushabh. And Rushabh, when I say Rushabh, I mean the demo pharmacy Rushabh, he will get a notification on his phone that the order has been assigned to you. So imagine I am a person, a back office person at the warehouse or HO. I'm receiving all the orders from the application, eVital or white label, and I can do all the assignment manually myself. We provide all kinds of information of the value fulfillment. So if you have received 1,000 rupees of order, how much of that in terms of rupees is available at that particular branch of yours? You can take a look at it, and you can simply with one click, you can assign to that particular store. So if you have more store, you can see all the assignment. It's 000 basically means that they don't have any of the product that has been asked by the patient. So, and like I said, some people also like to do this automatically. If you want to take a look at the map, you can click on the show and it will basically route to map directly to the patient address and so forth. So, this is one thing I think it's very crucial in terms of, because a lot of our customer, what they also do is you also receive orders on the phone. And in future, we are also going to provide a facility where you can actually create orders through the system on right here, and then you can do the assignment yourself. So instead of patient creating order, you can also create orders on behalf of the patient, and then the rest of the flow basically continues from here on. So this is one cool feature for the B2C portion. If you are if you are interested into building an omni-channel brand, I think this is one of the very, very crucial feature, because the order allocation has to happen and then order fulfillment has to happen from the branch itself. Of course, in the case where no branch has any of the products, you can manage it from here in the warehouse. The next thing I want to talk about is some integration, because if you are running a multiple locations, and you probably require a plethora of integrations for different purposes, right? For either for the government compliance purpose or delivery purpose or anything else. So if you go to account, and there is a tab called integrations, which is something we take it very seriously. We have been working on adding new integrations every single day. And as you can see, we already have about 12 integrations, including some of our own app, which is Vitran, which is the delivery application I was talking about. You also have Gallabox and Gupshup for WhatsApp integration. If you have to do anything out of the state, we have eWay as well as e-invoice here as well somewhere. Oh, there it is, in e-invoice and eWay. So with one click, you can create e-invoice. Of course, we have 3PL integration, Dunzo. We also have Extreme Express Bees by Extreme by Zomato delivery if you do anything out of state, or Express Bees if you do anything out of city or something. We also have 2 EDC payments. So if you want to integrate your device for the payments, you can also do EasyTap as well as the Paytm. Either one works for us. And lastly, but not probably the most important, is the tally. A lot of our enterprise clients like to manage their books, create their P&L, create their balance sheet and everything in tally. With one click, you can dump all the data into tally. We can also set up a cron that, continuously dump all the data into tally. as well. Some of our customers are already using it. Basically, you will buy some version of Tele, and then it will be integrated seamlessly between eVitalRx and Tele to exchange the data back and forth. So lots of integration out there. Please do check out them. One more thing I want to talk about, if you're running a multiple location. So if you go to reports, and there are lots of reports, for example, GST, purchase register, where an option to select any branch is possible. So without changing logging or anything, you can actually change from demo warehouse to say demo pharmacy. And if you submit it, and you can click on go. My bad, sorry. Let's just purchase with GST. I think this should be good. So there it is. So this is the purchase register for that particular store. So without changing the logins, you can actually you can actually take a look at some reports, download it. There are few reports that are available for this. Not every report is available for this, but most of the stuff that you need for compliance purpose, it's all available here without changing or logins or whatsoever. In future, we also plan to add more reports like non-moving or expiry reports, but the depth of that might be very different than what you might expect. So idea is that you are at HO, you are at a warehouse. Anything you want to look at as a summary will be available to you, but anything you want to drill down further, we highly recommend that you log in into particular store only, either through a password or a remote desk or however you want to do it. So, we want to keep the interface very clean. We want to make sure the performance is very smooth and not get into a lot of details in terms of what you can, access from changing the login, because we also remember that there is another person, the retail branch is also looking at this thing. So, very things that are absolutely required. So for example, non-moving report, you want to look at how much of a non-moving products are available at each and every store. That should be done. But we have a different feature in a mobile application, which video we will link into the notes, where we call reallocations or returns. So basically the way it works is that you spot a particular branch, you go to a branch, you pull out all the non-moving items out of the shelf, and if you start scanning those products or searching in future, they will tell you whether that product is actually being running in terms of sales at any of your sister branches. So instead of taking it back to warehouse, if there is a nearby store that belongs to your network, but it's moving there, the product is moving there, it will also start generating stock transfer automatically. I think it's one of the coolest features we have built. I highly recommend all of you check out that video. And of course, if the product is not selling at any store, it will basically bring it back to the returns. The cool thing is if you scan it, it will be a batch detail and everything, and automatically the stock transfer is being generated in the back. So once you're done scanning all the non-moving items at the store, with one click, you will create multiple stock transfers. One could be for the warehouse, the rest of them could be for the branches. You can log back into the web portal, you can check it. Once you approve it, all the transfer will be generated automatically. This is really cool feature. I highly recommend all of you guys. So rather than generating all the reports on item level and then doing everything manually, is a very, very easy way to do those things. Similarly, of course, expiry, you can create a reference back to the expiry as well. So, we don't believe in dumping all the raw data, rather we want to solve your problems using. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to let us know. How can we build a system around that? So these are some of the things that the eVitalRx helps enterprise level customers use this. Of course, there is a whole Sahaai portion where you can actually use those things, alert emails. So if you want to look at each and every any unusual activity happening at the stores and warehouse level, you can also get alerts emails for that. So those things are of course there. IVR is available at all the stores as well, monitoring charts. So this is basically looking at what's going on. Here we plan to add more pharmacy level filters as well. So you can actually drill down to one particular pharmacy and you can actually take a look at the charts, but for that particular pharmacy only. So, one last thing I want to, before we close it up, if I apply, let's say, filter of all the inventory. So let's say sometimes I think I mentioned in the introduction that I want to actually, control things at the inventory level in terms of discounts and stuff at the branch. So here's how you do it. So you log into go to an inventory page. Let's say it's CFOCAM. And if you want to open up the item level details, bulk updates. So let's say I want to update all these products to change their discounts to, whatever, 5%, or yeah, I can say 5%, or default I don't need to do. If I want to change all of their category, for example, for whatever stupid reason, I can, search a particular category and rename that category. I can do those things. I can lock the discounts. I can lock B2B discounts, sell in loose, except all online. And at the bottom, you will see also update these properties in all branch locations. So if I click on that and if I say add, are you sure you want to update these records? Item level will be applied on all branch location. I would say yes. And your applications will be applied. So your changes will be applied soon. So all the store will be basically, sorry, some of them did not happen because there is a loss associated. So I cannot simply just change it. But for those wherever applicable, this was of course just an example. You can apply those changes automatically at that particular locations. The other good thing is also, I think, if you add a new product at the warehouse level, it will also be available at the store level seamlessly. So you don't need to change any of those things. If you want to have more controls, there will be in future more controls associated between the branch and the HO, because we're learning more and more as some customers, especially health tech companies, what they want to do, or some companies want to create an omni-channel solution. They're also associated with the stores that are not really having any legal relationship with the HO or a health tech company, but they do have some business relationships. And we learned one thing, that we want to create a between two control system, i.e., let's assume that you are creating an omni-channel brand, and there are 20 pharmacy, 50 pharmacy, 100 pharmacies in the city that you have connected with, right? Depending upon what they want to share as a data with you, there will be a control room setting where they can actually change that, and that settings will be asked to verify every now and then, right? So for example, if I would like to share my number of sales or something, I'm just giving an example right now, there will be an option to do that. Again, this is a little bit of future. We are working on this thing even now, very early on stage. One last thing before we forget, in the warehouse, if you want to add a new branch store, so these are all the stores that I associated with me. If you want to add a new branch, you can simply add a number that is associated with the eVitalRx account. Once you add a number, it will be a OTP verification there that person has to, of course, agree with your, linking. And once you do that, a store will be linked just like this one. If you also want to detach a store in the future, you will also have to provide an OTP for that as well, just for the sake of security. So, this is the sort of overview of what you can do with eVitalRx in terms of enterprise. Sorry, one more last thing. I keep saying the last thing, but there are a couple of things I always miss out. And this is analysis tab. This is a master admin dashboard. So if you want to take a look at overall of all your pharmacy, here you can uncheck, check whatever you wanna group by some. Let's say I want to only look at the stores that I have in Sabarmati area in Ahmedabad. I can select them, and it will show me that I also want to look at only this month or a previous month or yesterday or today or any custom range. It will rearrange that. You can look at the data. You can look at some of the unique customer that came to your store, branch-wise margin report, so on and so forth. A lot of superficial summarized information will be available, non-moving items, pharmacy names here, top selling items, so on and so forth. This is not meant to be very, very comprehensive as much as that you would have to log in, but it will give you a sense of your business overall. So last thing, if you're running really a high volume operation, say 50 plus locations, we also support an integration with a BI tool like Zoho or Power BI. So you can actually create a dashboard. So we'll dump all the real-time data into your separate database for you, and where your Zoho or Power BI could be connected, or any other BI tool for that matter, actually. And you can create your dashboards. We'll provide you a schema. We'll provide you a initial set of dashboard as well. It does require some technical capabilities on your end. So if you have somebody who's specialized in BI or IT, they should be able to figure that out on their own. Of course, we will also help you out. but the idea is that it will give you a lot of dashboard capability, and it's also available on your mobile. So that's a cool thing. If you're an owner, you can monitor the performance of your pharmacies as an aggregate, as a network on your mobile, real time, seamlessly. So that's it for us in terms of eVitalRx providing a solid cloud-based software for your multiple locations, chain pharmacy operations, and how you can actually leverage cloud in your advantage using centralized purchase, BI, omnichannel solutions, and centralized monitoring as well of all the operations at your locations. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Please, like I said, please check out other videos that talks in much more depth in terms of features. And as always, we are continuously updating this thing. So please do check back with us continuously on YouTube. If you are curious about something, if you have a specific use case in your mind, please do not hesitate to write to us in terms of feature request, and we'll be more than happy to take a look at it and see if we can do something about it. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to work with you.